This is a recording of the Council of Europe Resolution 2079. One of the most important things that has happened in recent years on shared parenting and the role of fathers is the Council of Europe Resolution 2079, named Equality and Shared Parenting Responsibility, the Role of Fathers. The Council of Europe has consistently promoted gender equality in the workplace and in the private sphere. Major improvements in this field, as the Council of Europe states, while still not sufficient, can be observed in most member states of the Council of Europe today. Within families, equality between parents must be guaranteed and promoted from the moment the child arrives in life. The involvement of both parents in their child's upbringing is beneficial for his or her development. The role of fathers with regard to their children, including very young children, needs to be better recognized and properly valued. Shared responsibility implies that parents have rights, duties, and responsibilities with regard to their children. The fact is, however, that fathers are sometimes faced with laws, practices, and prejudices which can cause them to be deprived or of sustained relationship with their children. In its resolution 1921 from 2013 on gender equality, reconciliation of private and working life, and co-responsibility, they simply called on the authorities of the member states to respect the rights of fathers to enjoy shared responsibility by ensuring that family law foresees, in case of separation and divorce, for example, the possibilities of joint custody of children in their best interest, based on mutual agreements between the parents. The Council of Europe and the Assembly wishes to point out that respect for family life is a fundamental right inscribed in Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights, and numerous international legal instruments also express this. For parent and child, being together is an essential part of the family life. Parent-child separation has immediately effects on their relationship. Such separation should only be ordered by the court, and only in exceptional circumstances entail grave risk to the interest of the child. Furthermore, the Council of Europe and the Assembly firmly believes that developed shared parental responsibility helps to transcend gender stereotypes about the roles supposedly assigned to women and men within the family, and is simply a reflection of the sociological changes that have taken place over the past 50 years in terms of how the private and family sphere is organized. In light of these considerations, the General Assembly has made some statements. Of course, all governments within the Council of Europe and all member states should sign the relevant European conventions for children's rights. But the Council of Europe has also stated a number of specific items that need to be improved in national family law. Item 1 is to ensure that parents have equal rights with regard to their children under the laws and administrative practices, guaranteeing each parent the right to be informed and to have a say in important decisions affecting the children's life and development in the best interest of the child. Item 2, remove from their laws any differences based on marital status between parents who acknowledge their children. Parents are not necessarily married in today's society. Item 3 is to introduce into their law the principle of shared residence following a separation if the parents are no longer living together, limiting any exceptions to causes of child abuse and neglect or domestic violence, of course, with the amount of time for which the child lives, with each parent being adjusted according to the child's needs and interests. From the research and reality in especially the Nordic countries today, we already have clear documentation that for children as a whole, it is shared parenting that are in the best interest of the children, and also both if the parents are living together or not living together. Equal time is in general, as a general rule, in the best interest of the child. The next item is respect the rights of the child to be heard in all matters that affect them, when they are deemed to have a sufficient understanding of the matters in questions. Of course, we need to be very concerned and focusing on whether the child, in very complex family cases, actually have the opportunity to speak by free will. We know that parental alienation is a serious problem and is a problem that we national law needs to be taken into consideration as violence in families. That can be by mothers and fathers equally. What the Council of Europe, besides that stating, is that we need to take shared residence arrangements into account also when awarding social benefits. We no longer can live in a society with a one-parent law in a shared parenting environment. Social benefits, welfare benefits, needs to be decided to both parents if the need is there. What also need to be taken into account is all the necessary steps to ensure that decisions relating to children, residence, and to access rights are fully enforced, particularly by following up complaints with respect to failure to hand over a child. If we award good behavior by parents, that is what we get. If we do not award good behavior, or we instead award the bad behavior by parents, all leaders and parents know that that is what we will get, bad behavior. The next item is to encourage and, where appropriate, develop mediation with the framework of judicial proceedings in family cases involving children, in particular by instituting a court-ordered mandatory information session in order to make the parents aware that shared residence may be an appropriate option in the best interest of the child, and to work towards such solution by ensuring that mediation receive appropriate training and by encouraging multidisciplinary cooperation based on the Cochrane model. Also, the Council of Europe states that we need to ensure that the professionals who come into contact with children during court proceedings in family cases receive the necessary interdisciplinary training on the specific rights and needs of children of different age groups, as well as on proceedings that they are adapted to them, in accordance with the Council of Europe guideline on child-friendly justice. The next item is to encourage parenting plans which enable parenting to determine the principal affected or aspects of their children's lives themselves, and introduce the possibility for children to request a review of arrangements that directly affect them, in particular their place of residence. As a basic assumption in most countries today, we are seeing an improvement in the shared parenting arrangements, and in the Nordic region, it is normal today and on the norm to have 50-50% parenting time, and in Denmark, that will be introduced as one of the first countries in the world the opportunity to have double residence. This is in line with the Council of Europe Resolution 2079. A last item that the Council of Europe states that national law and governments should implement is that they should introduce paid parental leave available to fathers, with preference being given to the model of non-transferable period of leave. We know from the Nordic countries also that a non-transferable period for the father related to parental leave will have the greatest impact on children's health, on women, and on fathers in society.